remeasure it, put it in a jar, and then add 50 grams spatula, silicone, and that really is the other line on. Set a timer for 2 to 4 hours. I love cutting into it. So with a batard, there it is. All right, so there you go, you guys. I hope that this is... Hey guys, so by popular demand, I'm doing a sourdough video. I get a lot of people asking me how I do my sourdough all the time, and there's a bazillion videos on YouTube, but I guess they want to see how I do it, so I'm just going to go through it. So first, you start off with your starter. I marked it with a rubber band, and it's more than doubled, and so that's how you know your starter is ready to go. This is when it's at its peak activity. I'm going to add 100 grams of starter, okay? And I really like this spatula. It's a long spatula, silicone, and that really is great for working with your starter because you can scrape the edges of the jar. And then I'm gonna add 350 grams of bottled water. And I like to temp this and make sure that it's in between like 70 and 85 degrees. And so right now it's temped at about 87 degrees. And you don't have to do it this way. This is just how I like to do it. It just helps activate the starter. What you're gonna do is use the little dough whisk and then stir it around. So you wanna kind of break up the starter, dissolve it in the water. That's gonna make it a lot easier to add the salt and the flour. And I'm gonna go ahead and add salt. Some people like to add the salt later after you do an autolyse, but I like to just, this recipe, I just add it all together. So this is 12 grams of kosher salt. Mix that. And then I like to zero out my scale at this point, and I'm gonna do 500 grams of bread flour. You can use any brand of bread flour you like, but just make sure that it's unbleached bread flour, not all-purpose flour. It has to be bread flour because it has a higher protein content and that makes a stronger gluten network. This one I got from an Amish market close to my house. It's called Winona bread flour, unbleached. And this flour works really, really well for me. We're gonna just add 500 grams of bread flour. You're just gonna use your little dough whisk here, which is very helpful. Some people like to use their hands. I just use this. It depends. Sometimes I use my hands. It just really depends. Once I'm done mixing this, then we're gonna let it rest for 45 minutes. That's called the autolyse stage, where you're gonna let the flour absorb all the water. Okay, so this is all mixed up. I'm gonna put a lid on it, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven with the oven light on for 45 minutes to rest. And that will give it a nice warm environment to absorb all the liquid, okay? And let's talk starter for a second here. And basically a starter is like your natural yeast that you're gonna use for the bread. And you have to develop this over time. So this is about almost a year old. I started it in April of 2022. And I gave her a name, Dolly Parton, it's clever. And so this basically consists of a daily feeding of 1 part water, 1 part flour, and 1 part starter. So to start off, like you use 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, and then the next day you remeasure it, put it in a jar, and then add 50 grams of the original to 50 grams of water and 50 grams of flour. Just regular all-purpose flour. And then you just keep doing that and doing that every single day, sometimes twice a day. You can buy starters from people, you can buy them dehydrated, or you can just make your own. I fed this morning, I say 7 a.m. and right now it is 1:50 p.m. So it takes a good like 4 hours or so to get this to more than double, which is how you want it. You want it to at least be double or more than double, and that's gonna give you a really great dough. Right, so it's been 45 minutes. This is now ready. We're gonna do the first set of stretch and folds. And stretch and fold is basically just a way to pull and create strength. So I always recommend getting your fingers wet while you do this because it's pretty sticky. So you're just gonna scoop from the outside, you're gonna lift up and push it down, turn the bowl, lift up, press it down, and you're just gonna keep doing this over and over. And you wanna scoop underneath, pull up and down. Now you don't wanna rip it. So you wanna be gentle. So you wanna pull with your fingertips and just give it enough tension so that it's stretching it, okay? And you're gonna push it down. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. So you rotate it, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then if you want to get a little more tension in here, use your other hand, hold down one side, pull up like this, and fold it down and push it down. Again, pull it up, push it down, turn, pull it up, push it down, turn, pull it up, push it down, all right? Now this is gonna create a really nice, smooth dough. And the reason we're doing this, again, we're building the gluten network here and we're helping strengthen this dough. So look how this looks, it's pretty smooth. We're gonna put it in here, kind of like take your hands, tuck underneath until it looks nice and smooth like that. And then I'm gonna put this back into the oven with the oven light on for 30 minutes, okay? And we're gonna do this process 3 times. And then we're gonna do the last stretch and fold, which is a coil fold. We'll show you that at the end. Done the stretch and folds 3 times, and now this is going to be the 4th stretch and fold, but this time I'm going to use a different technique called the coil fold. And I really like this because it really allows the weight of the dough to stretch itself rather than me pulling it. And I saw this on a different YouTube channel or whatever. So I'm going to just lift this up very slowly. Okay, now as you can see, the weight of this dough is holding it down, right? It's pulling itself down. Then you're just gonna lay it back, and then you're gonna twist it, okay? Like halfway. Make sure your fingers are damp. And lift underneath, scoop your hands under it, and pull gently up towards the center. And then just let it sit there for like a few seconds. And then gently release it. Again, rotate it. Do the same thing. Lift underneath, pull up from the middle, and let it hang down. So as you can see, it's already gaining more and more tension where it's not hanging down as much. You want to make sure that your dough looks very silky and smooth on the outside. And right now I can see that the top of this dough has little bubbles on it. I don't know if you can see that. Lighting's not good right here. And that is great. That means we're getting air into the dough. And with sourdough, it's very important to have a very light, airy crumb on the inside. You want all those little holes. And then when I'm done with this is going to be the final stretch and fold before I do a bulk ferment. And a bulk ferment basically means that I'm letting the dough rest for about 2 to 4 hours in a warm area for proofing. And then what that does is it's going to allow it to rise and expand. And then after that, we'll do the final shaping. I put it in my oven with the proof setting on. If you don't have that, then put it in your oven with the oven light on. Set a timer for 2 to 4 hours. Okay, you want to flour your work surface here very lightly. When you need to get a little bowl scraper like this, this is nice, it's plastic. Kind of get some flour on there. And we're gonna just take this and scoop it out. Try to keep it in one piece. And you just want it to come out in one big blob. All right, that looks awesome. It's a big pile of sourdough. Spread this thing out here, all right? And you're gonna use this tool to kind of help lift it, all right? So we're gonna try to get it into like a little bit of a square shape, okay? Well, it's like more of a rectangle, okay? I lied. And then you're gonna take this, scooch it from under one side like that, lift it, and then fold it over into the middle, okay? Then you're gonna do it again on this side, okay? Fold it over the middle, all right? Then we're gonna take this side towards me, and I'm gonna roll it forward, okay? So this side towards me, lift it up, and very, very lightly lift it up and roll it. I know it's kind of weird, and then we're gonna pull it back like a burrito. Make sure everything has enough flour on it, all right? And now I'm gonna take it and turn it and pull it towards me, all right? So I'm gonna turn it and use my hands to pull it back. Turn it, pull it back. Turn it, pull it back. You wanna use the base of your hands like this and pull it towards you. Twist it and pull it towards you. Cradle it with your hands. Twist it and pull it towards you, okay? This is the shaping process, and what we're doing now is we're shaping the dough, we're creating tension, okay? Now, if you can see, there are some bubbles forming on top. So you can pop those if you want. Some people like to pop them, like it's satisfying. You don't have to though. So I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna cover it with a tea towel for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and shape it a second time. All right, so it has been 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Sprinkle a little bit of flour here, and then I'm gonna just gently take this and kind of form it into a square. One more time, or rectangle, whatever. And then you're just gonna use your little scraper. Same thing, pull it over, fold it, okay. Okay, and then right here, I'm gonna roll it like a burrito, and then I'm gonna pull it towards me, okay? Okay, now remember, we're gonna turn it, and I'm gonna pull it towards me like this. And what that's doing, it's pulling all those little edges underneath. And so what I'm doing right now, I'm shaping a boule. So this is a round boule, and you can have these shaped as a boule or a batard. A batard is a little more of an oval shape, but this is a little bit easier to shape just like this, okay? But I think I'm gonna just do it as a batard because those are my favorite shapes. So when you do that, you're gonna just kind of take it and pull it towards you. Now that we've got it in a ball, kind of pick it up, plop it down, and then just move it towards you. We're just gonna kind of move it into, shape it like that, like we're getting a little log. So this is my banneton, and again, I'm doing a batard shape. So this has a little bit of a linen cloth liner in it, and then you're gonna sprinkle that with rice flour. We're gonna pull this over, okay? We're gonna take the dough, and some people like to scoop underneath. I usually just take it and pull it and flip it upside down into my hands like this, okay? And then you're gonna place that top side down. So this is the bottom, and what I do is I just kind of take it and pull up the pieces and pinch them together like that. Pinch the tops of those, and take a little bit of the rice flour, sprinkle that on top. All right, now that it's in the basket, I'm gonna go ahead and put this into a plastic bag, and this is gonna go into the fridge for anywhere from 12 to 36 hours. Now the longer you leave it in there, the more flavor it's gonna get. So it's gonna give it more of that tang. You'll taste more of that sour flavor. So right now it's about 7:30 in the evening. And so I usually take these out in the morning. So this little baby's gonna go rest in the fridge and we'll be back tomorrow. All right, good morning. So it is day 2 and we have our sourdough bread here that's been fermenting overnight in the fridge for the cold ferment. And so now we are going to go ahead and put it in the oven. So I've been preheating the oven at 500 degrees with the Dutch oven in the oven. And so I've been preheating it for about an hour. You don't have to do it that way, but it's a way to get the Dutch oven really hot from the inside. All right, so first I'm gonna go ahead and put some rice flour on the top. All right, then I have this little silicone sling. I'm gonna just put that right on top of there. I'm gonna hold it tight and then slam it down upside down. I'm gonna gently lift this off. So now you can see that nice oval shape. So I just kind of take it with my hand and rub that flour in, give it an even coating here. And so for scoring, you can do little designs, you can do all kinds of stuff. We can do 1, 2, 3, you can do a side one. I usually like doing one on the side so that we get a really nice ear, and ears where it flips up. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna put this little cut right in there. Now this is called a lamb. And they make different styles, but I like this handheld one. You get a lot more control, okay? And then I'm just gonna put a couple little slashes through here, make a pretty design. To the Dutch oven, like this. And then I'm gonna spray it with some water to create steam. And that is going to help with the oven spring. Okay, and then cover it up. I'm gonna pull the lid off. All right, ooh, she looks beautiful. Cook this for another 22 minutes, uncovered. Let's look at this beauty right here, okay? Now we're gonna leave this here to cool for about 2 hours before cutting into it. It is the moment of truth now. After sitting here for a little over 2 hours, I'm gonna cut into this beauty. So I want you to just look and see right here. I didn't get as much oven spring as I would have liked to. That can be for a variety of reasons. It could be there wasn't enough steam inside of the Dutch oven. Maybe I didn't cut deep enough and didn't score it deep enough or at the right angle. All those little things can determine how much of an oven spring that you're gonna get. But I will say I do have a little bit of an ear, which is this little raised edge right here. Really nice one that's like really curved, but it's not necessary. It just shows that the loaf just looks really theatrical and dramatic. But what I can show you here is like all these little like blisters on here. That's really, really good. And that is from doing the long cold ferment. And so it gives you all those really nice little blisters. So here is the moment of truth. This is like the best part. So with a batard, you don't want to really cut into it like this. So you want to place these on its side like this, and cut it this way. All right, my mentor taught me this, Gina. I was shocked, so let's cut into it. All right, are we ready? This is the big, great reveal. Let's see. Ooh, that looks gorgeous. That does look amazing. Here you can see squish that down. Let's watch that bounce right back up. That looks great. See how there's a nice, even, airy crumb here? You've got lots of little bubbles here. You've got lots of, a little bit of bigger holes right here. That's really, really good. That's a great result. That means it's not dense or gummy. It's evenly cooked throughout. So sometimes if you cut into it and it looks like it's like Play-Doh or something, that means it's undercooked. And it gets gummy. That could be cutting in too soon or not cooking it long enough. Let's go ahead and taste one of these, all right? This looks absolutely amazing. My butter of choice is Kerrygold butter. This is my favorite way of enjoying sourdough. It's just so good. I love how the butter just goes into all the nooks and crannies of the bread. It's so tasty and you can hear it. Let's see. All right, let's see how it tastes. Yes, I approve. That's delicious. Absolutely good. It makes all that work worthwhile. 2 days worth, basically. There you go, you guys. I hope that this has inspired you and encouraged you to start baking and making sourdough. It's not easy, and there are lots of little bumps in the road that you'll get to, but I will say once you have some delicious bread, it is well worth it, and gives you bragging rights. Okay, have a good day, you guys. Bye.